Good day, everyone. My name is Rodia Russell, and today I will be presenting on the effects of the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic on the unemployment and poverty rate in the Bahamas. Introduction. At its basic level, there is a direct relationship between poverty and unemployment that are two major challenges the world is facing due to the current pandemic. Poverty is related to unequal access to employment opportunities in the labor market. With that, unemployment leads to poverty, and in turn, poverty leads to unemployment. According to Minister of Immigration, Minister Ellsworth Johnson, the unemployment rate has soared to 50% because of the COVID-19 pandemic. What was once at a rate of 10.36% in 2019 had now increased to 25.4% in 2020. Around 13% of the population lives in poverty, with 25% of these being children between the ages of 5 through 14. This means at least 43,000 people are living below the poverty line, set at $4,247 per person per year. For this research study, individuals will get an insight of the negative effects the pandemic has caused on the unemployment and poverty rate in the Bahamas, as well as intel on the psychological, emotional, and financial problems that Bahamians are currently facing. Methods. This anonymous survey approach assisted in reaching the target audience of Bahamian participants of ages 18 through 65. The goal of this survey was to look at individuals' concerns and perceptions on how the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic had influenced their jobs and financial circumstances. It was generated using Google Forms and distributed among 77 survey respondents via social networking sites, including Twitter, WhatsApp, and Facebook. The questionnaire method included 11 questions, 8 which were multiple choice, and 3 that were free response questions. The individuals were also asked to specify their age and gender. By doing so, this allowed a clear understanding of how different ages and sexes react to the same questions in this manner. Out of the 77 respondents that completed the survey, 74% identified themselves as female when asked about their gender, and 26% identified themselves as male. 42% admitted that they are currently employed, and 58% admitted that they were currently unemployed. 60% has experienced or knows of an individual that has been evicted due to the pandemic. The other 40% does not. When questioned on being able to provide for oneself or family during the pandemic, 70% answered yes, 14% answered no, and 21% admitted they are hardly able to do so. When asked if they had experienced a job loss or knew of anyone who had during the pandemic, 88% said yes and 12% said no. When inquired if assistance is sought out by any agencies or entities to provide for their family, 88% said no, 8% said that they depend on NIB, and the other percentage said that they depended on social services or Hands for Hunger organization. As priorly stated, there were 3 free response questions that respondents answered, giving their views and opinions. Out of the 3 questions, one of them asked, have you applied for a job during the pandemic? And if so, how has the process been for you? Many of the respondents said that they had no need to apply for a job because they still had theirs, while the majority responded that they had applied for a job and the process was very tedious or stressful or difficult to deal with. Some of their responses included, yes, it's been kind of hard seeing that companies are not really hiring. Another respondent responded, fairly simple. There are there was a demand for the job because it was an essential business. Another respondent answered, I haven't applied for a job, but I want to. I make way less money than before, like half. The other free response question asked, do you think there are more ways in which the government can assist its citizens at this time? Yes or no, and how? Respondents that answered yes gave suggestions on increasing minimum wage, providing stimulus checks, supplying jobs, alleviating the curfew, easing restrictions, lowering VAT, giving a grace period on bills, investing in other industries, increasing NIB benefits, and taxing the wealthy. The minority that said no believed that the government was doing more than they could or more than they can, given the resources that they had. The final free response question asked, the lifestyle of many has been rearranged due to the cost of the pandemic. Are you hopeful this will change? Yes or no? There were very few respondents that believe that individuals won't be able to revert to their prior lifestyle again. However, one of the respondents answered yes and said, I hope this will change because a lot of families become dependent because of financial issues. Some persons are not used to depending on others for assistance. Some persons' lifestyle change to theft and begging. Some persons have nowhere to turn to. Moving forward, 39% believe that the country will be able to decrease its unemployment and poverty rate. 14% disagree, while the other 47% are skeptical on the matter. Discussion. Limitations. The safest and most appropriate way to gather findings was by means of a survey. Interview questions may have been done. However, due to the global COVID-19 pandemic, certain constraints were imposed. Seeing as people tend to express their opinions by speech rather than writing, this approach may have been more effective than the survey process. People may have misled or written false information in order to complete the survey as quickly as possible. Overview. The research suggests that because of SARS-CoV-2, the Bahamas' unemployment and poverty rate has been significantly affected negatively. Given the response from individuals that participated in the survey, many are facing financial, emotional, social, and psychological turmoil due to COVID. While a few believe that recovery is seen in the future, majority are doubting that the nation will be able to overcome its current social and economic dilemma. These are my references. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and thank you for your time.